Yes, people, we are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another Manchester United, Manchester City show, Man Them United podcast, Them City podcast. So make sure you keep all your comments, all your questions, Manchester United or Manchester City related, as you can see from the title, people. How important is Kevin De Bruyne's return to Manchester City? We'll be discussing that. Of course, Jadon Sancho has now made his move permanent. His loan move permanent from Manchester United to Borussia Dortmund. So will Manchester United be getting a replacement? I'm sure you lot will be asking questions on that as well. We do have Jan City in the building as well. Yes, Jan, what are you saying? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, bless, oh, bless. All good, all good. Yeah, people, we had to just push the show back. Jan was busy, but we're here, people. You know what I'm saying? You are always gonna get the show, so run up the likes. Make sure you share this across all of the socials as well, and subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City TV. Road to 10K people. So yeah, for those that say, yeah, we're here. See, I'm showing love to all the ops people. You know what I'm saying? You get all of the big six, whether it's Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea, etc., etc. Yes, Saeed, she was here last week. Good to see you in the chat. He says, right, yeah, back, yeah, with the laughing
Forgot
emoji.
Saeed.
We out here. Trying to be like you, Saeed, man. I'm trying to be like you. You feel me? And I'm trying to catch up to you. You know what I'm saying, in this content creator space. So yes, I'm saying Jan City is back, people. Hey, De Niro, good to see you in the chat as well. Says big up flawless. Warrior J says big up flawless. And Jan, he says, Jan, I don't know why you predicted us to be in the top four because
Who
it
is
ain't
me?
easy for us
I
right
don't even
now.
know
But
who
big
that
up.
is.
You know why? Because Jan a troll. What I'm saying, but because she's a female, yeah, you lot just let her get away with it. Because if I would have said that, you wouldn't have had it. You know what I'm
Who is
saying,
Warrior J? What's that? Chelsea?
yeah, yeah. See, you already know. You know what I'm saying? Who is
Shame.
that?
I
You know
can't
exactly who you
Oh yeah,
predicted
I
top
did
four.
predict. You know why? Because they had no Europe, and I thought, you know what? Because they
Yeah,
got no Europe, they might get top four. But
mm,
Chelsea
yeah.
being Chelsea,
And they had Sterling and Palmer. I think that
and
ties
yeah,
into it
they
too.
had a decent team on paper. I like
Yeah,
Enzo.
yeah,
Enzo's great. So
yeah. And you're a troll as well. You know what I'm saying? So here
yeah,
we
a
are.
little
That's why you
bit.
yeah, serious. See, you lot seen it firsthand. See, when that's me, yeah, you lot ain't having it. You know what I'm saying? You lot ain't having it when I be telling the truth. But
I'm
y'all
well
out here
for though.
trolling.
It's what it
You thought they were gonna go to from 12th to 4th. And you don't even rate Poch. That's the craziest part. You ain't
is.
even a Poch fan. Like,
Oh no, I do not rate Patch at all. No.
see?
Oh my god. Yeah, no.
Hey, big up my guy Sheik as well. Big up to Jez. Big up
Forgot
Ryan just in here, just being him. You know what I'm saying? Speaking his back. You know what I'm saying? Being him. Jan looks good, I can't lie. Something we agree on. You know what I'm saying,
That,
Ryan,
that's
actually.
nice.
That's something we agree on, Ryan. Obviously, KD's return to City is important. Is that supposed to be a rhetorical question? Yes, because you know why? It says how. That's why, Ryan.
How
How
important.
important? On a scale of 1 to 10, it could be a 9, it could be a 10, it could be a 12. Y'all might say it's a 6. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Sheik. Ooh, hi. Yes. Big up to Sheik. You know what I'm saying? Everyone knows what that means. Big up Thomason as well. But yeah, like I said,
Yeah.
keep all your comments, all your questions, United or City related. And if you want to make sure we get to your question, people, then super chat and we'll make sure we do indeed get to it as well. Yeah, Ryan, fucking great point. It's kind of like I'm a professional at this and know what I'm doing. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? You'd think I've been doing this now like nearly 4 years, I think. You know what I'm saying? That I have some idea of what I'm doing. But hey ho. But yes, Jan. Kevin De Bruyne, we'll start with him. Obviously, came back in the FA Cup game against was it Huddersfield you lot played?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he got a couple of assists. So yeah, your thoughts on his overall like importance to your team because people
Uh,
speak about Rodri and his
oh
importance,
god,
but it
yeah.
seems it seems De Bruyne I wouldn't say is as important, but he has a high importance to your side, as good as
Yeah.
you are going forward.
I think that's what I was saying last time I was on here. I was saying that Man City, a lot of our chances were actually created by Rodri. And
Mm,
Rodri is not that's not his main job. Like his
yeah.
main job is to control the midfield,
Mm,
stop counter attacks, that sort of thing. He's a defensive midfielder at the end of the day. So that's what his job is to do. But he has been creating a lot of chances for us at the start of the season. And we definitely missed, like I said last time as well, we've missed that sort of Gundogan type who is more attacking minded.
mm,
And obviously we lost Mahrez as well, who creates a lot of chances. So we were missing that a little bit. And with De Bruyne, he's just guaranteed chances. Like he only has to be on the pitch for a few minutes. He's either creating a chance, he's shooting, which could either lead to a goal, or it could lead to a corner, or it could lead to it, deflecting off someone and going in, or it could lead to another chance, a tap in for someone else.
Yeah.
So yeah, even if he's not actually trying to assist, just him being on the pitch the way he is, the way he will attack constantly, it's going to cause goals, essentially. So yeah, he's been a big miss for City. I think maybe if we had Gundogan and Mahrez, it would be less of a miss. He's always a big miss when he's missing, but yeah, I think the fact we've seen over the months, even them 3 draws at home, them 3 back-to-back draws, I don't think we draw any of them with De Bruyne, because that Liverpool game, that should have been about 4-0 at half-time. If he's on, it will be at least 2-0. The Spurs game, again, the way we played in that game, second half, I thought Spurs were actually really good and they deserved to get a point from that game. So I would never say that we deserved more than the point, because I think we only deserved the point. However, in that first half, we were clear. It should have been 4-1 at half time, and it wasn't. So, and then it became what it became at the end. So that's another game where I think if De Bruyne was there, that probably ends in a Man City win. And then what was the third one? Palace again. That was the most one-sided draw I've ever seen in my life. City should have won that game by so many goals. It's actually ridiculous. Like I said last time, this guy at football was going, this must be the worst team that's come to the Etihad all year. It was terrible. They weren't doing anything. And then all of a sudden, 2 chances.
Yeah, Foden gave away the penalty late. Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, I just think when we put ourselves in them positions, I don't think we do that with De Bruyne. I think that sort of dominance in the beginning results to more goals. Because I think De Bruyne came on and we scored 2 goals in the time he was on. I think he got 2 assists, did he? Something like that. Or he got 1. I don't know. But we seem to score more when he's around. So I think over this season, if we'd had him, we would have picked up more points. Obviously, everything's in hindsight. You never know. We have bad games with De Bruyne as well. But
yeah,
hindsight's beautiful. You would assume that we would have got more points with him. Plus, he hates Arsenal. So there's no way we lose to Arsenal when De Bruyne is on the pitch, because he never allows it to happen. So
does he hate Arsenal, or does he just play really well against Arsenal? I think it's just one of those things.
I don't know what it is. It's weird because he doesn't like Arsenal because...
What happened?
Well, this guy that used to be in Spaces, he's like some sort of reporter /
journalist.
He does like YouTube. I don't know if he does YouTube, but he does something like that.
Yeah.
And he was saying he went to De Bruyne's house in March last year and said, "Are you worried? Arsenal top of the league?" And De Bruyne apparently laughed and said no. So yeah, I think it's one of them. Like I don't know what it is about Arsenal. Maybe because he's ex-Chelsea. I don't know. But he just completely does not like Arsenal. I don't know what it is. But I just think, like, even Arsenal fans say, like, he's just a different demon against them. Like,
maybe he just plays. Maybe he's just one of them. Like, it's one of them where you get this, like, and all top teams will have this where, not even top teams, where a player will just play well against certain team.
That certain team, yeah.
Yeah,
that used to be a Traore against us. Oh my God.
Like that's what it is. Yeah, I remember you saying that. Like that. That's what it is. So unless there is some dislike to Arsenal because of his Chelsea allegiances, maybe it's that.
I don't know. I just know.
Oh, you know what? Maybe he's just a normal human being, and most normal football fans dislike Arsenal. You know what I'm saying? It's just you. You know what I'm saying? But everyone else dislikes Arsenal. Everyone comes together in unison.
Arsenal. It's just based on me being a City fan. They were the least annoying until they became what they became now. But they weren't the least annoying at the time, because obviously we had Chelsea, who we were competing with for titles. Man United at one point we were competing with. It was only them that were kind of just there. So but now it's changed because their fans are a little bit too excited.
Yeah, exactly, like a little bit. And this is what I said, like everybody comes in. One thing that brings the whole social media space, like football, like space, comes together when they lose. I've never seen anything like it. Yeah, when United lose, people run jokes. When Liverpool lose, or City lose, or Chelsea lose, people will run jokes. But I don't know what it is about Arsenal. The fact that everybody it is because they're fans, because our fan base is annoying. Don't get it mistaken. Theirs is to a different level. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because like they're more.
You know what it is? You know what? because United fans are very unrealistic. Like United fans in the summer, I mean, the Premier League is the same script every year. It's actually crazy. The same thing happens. The summer happens. Man United signs some major star in their opinion. No matter who it is, they're the best in their position. Man United fans get excited. We're going to win the league. We're going to win the Champions League. We're challenging for everything. And then reality kicks in about 2 games in when they decide actually we're still shit. So that's like, oh, big up. Is that months?
Yeah, big up to Months, man. You make sure you subscribe to Big Six, man. See, man, the people have missed you. You know what I'm saying? That's why you're getting love in the chat. Yeah,
but
just the Kool-Aid. That's what Jan's talking about. People sip the Kool-Aid, but go on, carry on.
Yeah, so that happens. Then Chelsea fans are the same. We're gonna do better this season. Blah blah blah. We've signed 1 million players. And then Arsenal fans, they normally in the summer a little bit like, yeah, we signed some good players. We'll see what happens. They try and be humble. And then November hits and they're top of the league and the same thing every year. Oh, we're going to win the league. It's ours. It's won. And then, I mean, last year it carried on a bit longer and it was, we've won the league. The stuff I was getting, oh, City don't win. Like, I was thinking, but you're top of the league. Like, you're expected to win it from here. Like, I expect Man City to challenge because it's Man City. But if you're top of the league for 200 and something days of the season, then you are expected to win the league. But yeah, so I don't know, like if I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be thinking after last year, like Liverpool fans, they hold it back a little bit because they know what can happen. So like I've got Liverpool fans now saying, if now Trent's injured, oh, we've not won the league. Do you know what I mean? Because they know it's not easy to challenge Man City. It's not that Liverpool can't win it. I've been saying for a long time this season now, is City... Because I did say at the start of the season, if Liverpool buy a midfielder, then they would challenge with us. It didn't look like they were going to, but then they did buy one. I don't think it's as good as it could be, their midfield. But it's decent enough to put together a run of games. But, you know, Liverpool, for me, would be the strongest contender because they've been there, done that. Whereas Arsenal haven't been there, done that yet. Yeah. So... I think it will be City and Liverpool regardless of Trent. Trent will be back soon. Do you know what I mean? It's not the end of the world. So, yeah, I think it's going to be us two. But Liverpool could win the league, but their fans are not going to go overboard because they've seen how it doesn't always happen. So, even City fans, like, you get City fans now saying we should win the league, but they're not, like, a lot of them were saying the other day, but Liverpool are still Liverpool. So, it's we've got a long way to go, put it that way. And we've been dropping points against teams that we don't normally drop points against. So, you know, from a league point of view, it's by far not won. Do you know what I mean? There's a long way to go. But I do think Liverpool will be there at the end, regardless.
Yeah. Now, you said that in regards to it, and just mentioned it. I've been mentioning it. The Kool-Aid. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Arsenal fans drink the Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? I even told Troops this on back again because he didn't drink the Kool-Aid, but he looked at it. And I keep saying it, man. Hey, Arsenal fans, continue to sip the Kool-Aid. Continue to believe in your team. Normally, it is. It's normally like February, March where they fall off. They just did this earlier. That's all it is. They went from 1st to 4th, from Christmas Eve to New Year's Eve. So hey, man, shout out to Arsenal each and every time.
But the thing is, I would just when you're in the league. So like 2014 Liverpool, I kind of get why they were cocky because they thought they were going to win it. And they genuinely had a reason to believe they were going to win it. Do you know what I mean? But I just think Arsenal, like after last season, you'd think they would have learned a lesson. I just don't.
They don't learn, no. You know what the crazy part is?
That's what I'm confused about. Because even I, as a City fan, wouldn't be here saying it's won. We've won the league. And we've done it like how many years in a row? So
facts. You know what the crazy part is, though, Jan? Let's say you are Liverpool, win the league this season, and then we start 24-25, and Arsenal are in the same spot. Let's say they're top at Christmas.
Let's do it again, yeah.
Fans will do the same thing. That's what do the exact same thing. Hey, Eli's facts, though, he said.
League in November every season.
Yeah, back-to-back November champions.
You know, but the facts are, and this is why I think Liverpool and City are the top contenders, is because Liverpool and City have both been in that situation in May, where you have to win, or not May, sort of March onwards, where you have to win every game, and we've done that. I remember that season where we won the league. Liverpool matched us game for game for game, and it came down to a point. So we've seen both teams do it. Or even when they've dropped a few points, we've dropped a few points. It's been close, do you know what I mean? Whereas Arsenal, last season, they should have won that league. Like, I'm not joking, they should have won it. And the fact that it wasn't 1 point at the end is very telling, because that should have been at least 1 point or 2 points. It shouldn't have been. I don't even know what it ended up being at the end, to be fair. I didn't even notice, but we didn't need to win our last game to win it.
No, it was sold up. Like we all see it. Word to Saeed, man. The curtains on the wall. We all knew what was gonna happen, man. Like we all knew what it was. Hey, big up Victor in the cut as well. Raman, good to see you in the chat as well. Who says Kevin De Bruyne is a huge player for us. Good to see City fans in the chat. He says if he stays healthy, I'm confident we'll wrap up the league in May. This is a good question.
Oh yeah, if he stays fit, we'd have a much better chance. Definitely.
This is a good question, actually. I didn't even think of this until I've actually just read this. He says, Jan, do you think Cole Palmer could have somewhat filled a little bit of Mahrez's boots emphasis on somewhat before I get cooked? You know what the crazy part is? Even though I don't think he's as good as Mahrez, I think he's of a similar profile and could have done a job. What do you think?
You know what?
Where do you stand with Cole Palmer?
I like Cole Palmer. I didn't think he was ready for Man City just because who is he going to start over? Like, you can say, oh, he could play on the wing or whatever, but there's still going to be a Bernardo Silva or someone else coming out for him. And I don't think Pep would do that. I mean, he could have done a job. I don't think I think for Chelsea, he's doing well. Bless him. But I don't know. Like, I don't think he would have started enough to build up that momentum that he's got now, because he's been playing a lot for Chelsea.
Yeah,
he's built up that momentum. I don't think at City he would have got that opportunity. I don't know. Maybe he would have just come in now and again and done his job. But I think a lot of the reason why he's doing so well for Chelsea is because he's getting consistent goals. You know, he's getting given penalties. There's no way Pep would give him a penalty over Haaland. You know, so
that's right.
It's one of them. I think the confidence that he's getting is leading to his form, and I don't think it would have worked quite as well at City. But he's always been a good player. Like, Pep doesn't put players in the first team that aren't. Like, you've seen Oscar Bob, you've seen Rico Lewis. Like, he puts these players in for a reason. So Cole Palmer's we knew he was a good player. I just didn't think he was good enough to start for City week in, week out. And I still don't think he would. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. Because like I said, when I look at it, I think he could have played. Yeah, it's all hindsight's a beautiful thing. And when you look at him now, like you said, at Chelsea, him playing week in, week out, if he's at City, he's not there. I still think he could have played a part, but then again, it's Pep. So Pep knows better than what I do.
With Gabriel Jesus, when Jesus left and he was doing well for Arsenal, everyone was saying, oh, if he'd have stayed at City, he would have done this, that, and the other. And then now they're saying he's not a striker. And it's like, well, this is what City fans were saying a few years ago.
I remember you saying this. He's better. I've said this before. He's better out wide.
I like Jesus. I really do. Yeah. And he's good. But he's not going to start over a Haaland. He's not. Do you know what I mean? That's just the way it is. So it's just one of them things.
Yeah, I think he's better out wide, to be honest. I think he's a better wide player. I think he's a good squad
I always thought that. I mean, I've always thought he did well on the wing for City at times. But yeah, I think he was a good player, but it's just with City at the moment, the standard is so high. You know, we can't really afford for players that are just.
First, and see how Jan just little man you talking about. Oh, he's doing all right. You know what I'm saying? That's cute. Hey, Chelsea. She be taking sneaknesses at you lot all the time. Just clarifying to Chelsea fans watching. This ain't me. That's why she over there smiling. So you know what, Victor, you Chelsea dickheads in the chat, hold that, man. Hold that. And also Ryan, who says our fans have learned the lesson due to losing out by a point. Yeah, hold that too. I know it still burns. You know what I'm saying, so hold that too, Ryan. I'm glad. You know what I'm saying, that still burns. Sheik. It's another good question, actually. Jan, any team in the Champions League you are truly worried about?
The problem with the Champions League is that it's very, all it takes is for you to have a bad 10 minutes and you could be out. You know, you don't have to play bad for the whole game. You can play well, have a bad 10 minutes, concede 2 goals, you're out. But then you could also have a good 10 minutes and score 2 and go through. So it's just one of them things. It's very, It's very hit and miss. I'd say Bayern Munich, obviously, they're always the favourites along with us. Real Madrid, they just have the experience. They can knock out anyone. They're just that team. Just trying to think who else. I mean, everyone else on paper, City should be beaten. So Barcelona, again, they're another team who, they're a bit up and down, Barcelona. They're either really good or quite poor. So PSG, another team, they've got the players on paper, but they don't tend to execute it. Any of them teams could give us a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I do think we're better
Bless me.
than most of them.
Mm-hmm.
Real Madrid, I think, always in the Champions League. They're the one team that comes to mind when you think you just can't rule them out. You just don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'd say probably Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. But there are
they're the two. I think they're the two standouts.
Yeah, and there are other teams that could give us a problem on the day. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see.
Yeah, first, I'm saying that's a very fair. Like I say, Real Madrid are the team I'm looking at in the champs that need to save us from you lot winning the champs again.
But there's always an underdog as well. There's always like a Inter Milan last season. I don't think anyone would have had them in the final at the beginning. So
but the draw went their way though. That's what I always say about the champs. It's the draw.
Yeah.
If you get a favorable draw,
you
can accidentally end up in the semi-final. That's how it was, because the semi-final was the Milan derby.
Yeah.
So it's like
if you get Bayern Munich drawing Real Madrid in the next round and City drawing Barcelona or something, then
you would have said Chelsea if they was in the competition, but yeah, go on.
Shut up.
100%.
So,
You would have said Chelsea.
You could end up with two of the big four getting knocked out already. So that's another thing as well. It just depends. But I would say them two are the big two that you want to either avoid or knock out early. Do you know what I mean?
No,
I mean, we played them both last season. So hopefully we don't get them both again.
Well, so hopefully you do. We need you lot to get to well. Can't be asked with you lot in the champs again. No.
Hey, we need to win it back to back, love.
No, you don't need to. What do you mean we need to win it back to back? That's a very, you know what I'm saying? We don't need to win it back to back. Just go out in the semi-final and just take the Prem and be happy. Be happy. Warrior J says, thoughts on Foden's form lately? And since everyone is back apart from Stones, what's your Manchester City 11 for the Newcastle game? So 2 questions in one.
Oh God, Man City 11 for the Newcastle game. Well, it depends who is. I think we've got pretty much a fit squad at the moment.
Yeah, I think he's saying there. Apart from Stones.
Yeah,
Victor. Why? Wait. Sorry to carry on. Why is it hashtag flawless is a wallet? And Jan has been sending multiple shots at your team. He has sent 4 or 5 shots in half an hour at your team. Enough shots at your team. We've only been live streaming. This show's been going on just approaching 30 minutes. And she took 4 or 5 shots at your team. And you joined at B.
I am innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah. Yo, the evidence is there. You know what I'm saying? It's there, love. What are you talking about? Well, go on, carry on. Get to it in regards to the City 11.
I'll start with the first question then. So thoughts on Phil Foden. Do you know what? I think Phil Foden's having a really good season. And to be honest, so far, obviously it's early days, but I think he's on course at the moment for player of the season. But obviously that'll depend on how the rest of the season goes, who else steps up. Because Alvarez has been good as well, even though his form did drop dramatically, but he's been good overall. There's been Rodri's Rodri. Do you know what I mean? He's up there every year. So it's not necessarily going to be the case, but I think Phil Foden at the moment is brilliant. He's just what we've needed. So he's been really, really good. I think Pep will go with... I think he's been playing a similar back four. Obviously Walker's captain.
Nah, this is yours though. He's saying, what would you go with? So you're the manager. Okay. Yeah, you're the manager. What would you go with?
Is Haaland back though?
Let's say for argument's sake, Haaland's back. Let's say it's everyone bar Stones.
Good. Let's say Edison in net. Kyle Walker. Diaz, even though Diaz's form's been shaky.
Yeah, we'll talk about Diaz's form in a second.
Somebody said that Diaz has been really good the other day and he should be in team of the season. I was like, I think we're watching a different player. But is what it is. You know, maybe I'm just not watching the game with my eyes. I don't know. Diaz, probably Aki and Akanji. That's what he's been going
Well, the
with.
chat saying Akanji got injured. They're saying Akanji's a doubt. So let's say Akanji's a doubt. So you got Aki, and then who's the other? Who's the fourth?
I think he plays Vardiol, doesn't he? Out wide. So I'll go with that.
You go Vardiol left back first.
He normally goes with Aki, but if Akanji's not in, probably that. I'm trying to think. My head's gone blank. Midfield, De Bruyne, Rodri.
Oh, so you'd start De Bruyne then? You'd start him this game?
Who we playing? Newcastle, yeah.
Newcastle away.
Yeah. I think we need to. Because if we can get... The way City have been playing is in the first half, we're creating a lot of chances and not scoring. And then the second half, the other team are stepping up and it's catching us. So if we can get De Bruyne on, score a couple of goals, then maybe you can rest him. But I think we tend to start stronger than we finish. So I think for that reason, I'd start him.
So De Bruyne, Rodri, who's the other in midfield with him?
You have to kind of play Foden at the moment. But I'd maybe play Foden on the wing. So go with Bernardo in the middle.
Good midfield trio. So Foden right, and then Haaland up top, and then who's left?
I'd probably go with... Doku's been really, really good. So if he's fit, put Doku back in.
So you can go Warrior J. You know what I'm saying? Good questions as well.
I would probably... I think Alvarez will start just because he's fitter than Haaland. So I'd probably start Alvarez, bring on Haaland if needed.
All right, first. There you go, Warrior J. And before we continue, you run up the likes. Continue to run up the likes. How many are we on? Yeah, we're only at 19. We're only at 24 likes, and there's over 30 of you lot in here. So let's go up to 30 likes. Please share this across all of the socials as well. Share this across all of the social medias that you are active on. Make sure you follow. Wait 1 second. And that's me, Flawless at Sarcasm City TV across all socials as well.
Hashtag Flawless is a wallet.
Yeah, no, you got to that again. Yeah, but you put hashtag Yad is a wallet as well. So yeah, subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City TV as well. See, there you go, Victor. She's been taking multiple shots at your team,
Listen, he forced you to say that. It's all right.
I didn't force him to say anything. I just offered him the information that you just taking shots at his team the entire show. I was like, damn.
Shots at Chelsea at all.
Yeah, sure, innit? I was saying, you was like, yeah, Cole Palmer is cute what he's doing there. He's all right. Let's see what else you lot are saying as well. Hey, Eli said, this is another good question. Do you think Manchester City are going to do anything in January? Do you see you going into the market? And on the flip side, let me add another question to that. Would you like to see the team go into the market? Is there a certain position in the team where you go, yeah, we need such and such?
I think City's squad at the moment, someone said it the other day, our squad is not actually very big if you look at how many players we have available. And if you look at our bench, a lot of it is youth players. Like, Rico Lewis has played quite a bit in the Prem now, but he is a youth player. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not like we've spent loads of money on these players and stuff. And I think Mahrez, and it's crazy how a few players can leave and all of a sudden your squad looks like, do you know what I mean? So different. It's weird. I do think we need some backup because, it just depends because it's hard to buy players because you don't want to buy players for big money that aren't going to start when everyone's fit. But then a couple of injuries in our current squad and it's looking a bit techie. So it's hard. I don't know who City will go for. I think there's rumours about Calvin Phillips maybe leaving. If that's the case, we need to replace him, but it needs to be someone who is even half as good as Rodri. Yeah, because I just think the gap between Rodri and Calvin Phillips is probably the biggest gap in the league between players. So we definitely need someone who can come in and you're not going to know. Because when Rodri was out, it was very noticeable. We lost all 3 games. We need someone who can come in and at least we don't completely... I wanted Calvin Phillips in them 3 games to really step up and prove that he has something for us. But he didn't really do that, and I think he let himself down, because I think if he'd have done well in them 3 games, it would have given everyone more confidence that he actually should stay and whatever. But I don't think he did that. I think he kind of shot himself in the foot, to be honest. And then ever since then, Pep's not going to trust him because of that. So it's a hard one. Yeah. But I don't know. I honestly, in the market, I never get involved till I see someone holding up a City shirt. Because we're linked to everyone.
That's like big clubs, but you still have your preferences though.
Oh yeah.
You still have your preferences in regards to you had Haaland. What about Kimmich? Because you got linked to Kimmich.
Yeah, but that got ruled out. We got linked to him.
Did
it was they said he's not leaving.
Oh, thank fuck for that. You know what I'm saying? That's what we needed.
Pep loves Kimmich. So.
Yeah, of course. You don't love Kimmich a baller. Like when he got linked to you lot, I was like,
yeah, no, he's not going anywhere.
I was like, here we go again.
If we do buy anyone, it's not going to be anyone major. It's going to be someone you've hardly heard of. It's not going to be like a big name.
Yeah. And to Shiku says, I tried to buy the Sancho shirt. It kept saying product not available. I think their website's broken. Yeah, of course, that shirt gonna sell out, man. Like people have been waiting to go get that Jadon Sancho number 10 shirt. People are big fans of him. Like Sancho has a very, very good following. He does. And I'm glad he got the move on there on loan, and I hope he thrives over there, because the criticism he received was ridiculous. It was way, way, way over the top. Hey, big up to my guy Eddie. Just shout out my dogs in the chat. Good to see Eddie. Warrior J says, flawless. Are you hoping? I'm put hoping in capital letters. The team goes into January market for new players. Absolutely. That being said, I don't trust our manager and our hierarchy to go get the correct players. So either way, we're screwed. Whether we sign new players, whether we don't, I don't trust these men to go do what needs to be done. But I don't trust the players we have. So either way, I don't see any improvements. Yeah, you might as well. I would say go and get new players. Just
you need to go get a new manager.
Yeah, facts. You know what I'm saying? Just on accident. Look at you. You know what I'm saying? Are you done? Huh? You finished. You just gritted up there, T over there.
Yeah, I'm done.
You know what I'm saying? Tell your face that.
Need a new stadium too.
Done. You know what I'm saying? I thought you were just waiting for you to get your jokes off, innit? You finished. Look at this idiot. You know what I'm saying? Are you sure? You finished, yeah?
Have you heard the new chant?
No, you know what? Shut up, innit? Hey, you know what? You know what? It's thin ice, you know. Thin ice, yeah. Not my life, thin ice. I'm saying. Thin ice. We will fight. Thin ice, you know. But yeah, Warrior J, in regards to it, yeah, go out and get new players, just an average that maybe 1 or 2 or 3 actually work. Because one thing we do know is the players we have are working. And like Jan said, yes, new manager, that'd be ideal. New manager, new player, new everything. That's what I want. You know what I'm saying? New everything. But I've spoken on this. Will we go out and get a replacement? Probably. I can see us going into the loan market, like how we got Sabitzer and how we got Veghorst. I can see us doing something similar to that in regards to it. Flawless. Even under Sir Jim, you don't trust him. Nope. Even under Jim Ratcliffe, Ineos, no. Bear in mind, they can't do anything during this window anyway. I think they don't officially like take over till February. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what'll go on. To De Niro says, flawless. If Sancho doesn't perform at Dortmund, what do you think that means for his career, not just at United, but as a whole? I think it's a blow, but I don't think it's a career ender because of the age he's at. Somebody, even if he goes there and he doesn't perform well, even in the summer, I see somebody else looking at him and going, yeah, because he's talented, and 2, I think he's only 23, 24. Like if he was 29, 30, could be a problem. But at 23, 24, I can still see a team saying he's talented enough where I go, yeah, let's try.
I think he'll be fine at Dortmund because he's already been successful there. The pressure's not on him. So, you know, when you sign a new player and the pressure's on them to perform, I don't think the fan... It's kind of like when Sean Wright-Phillips came back to City. There was no pressure on him because we know what he can do.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be like that. He'll go back there. Dortmund fans will give him time because they know how good he is. And I don't think he'll be under pressure. I think he'll be fine. I think he'll go back more to the Sancho. Maybe not as good because obviously he's had like a year out, basically. But he'll go back to that sort of Sancho. I think he'll be fine.
Yeah. That's what it is. And big up to Eli, who says, what positions, pause, hey, yo, would you like to see come in? Hey, yo, pause. for you both outside of a new manager in Flawless's case. In regards to my team, everywhere, Eli, we need to do everything. You know what I'm saying? We need to do everything, like legit. Like people, I'm not. Yeah, it's me being over the top. Like when I say new everybody, it is legit. Like if I could get rid of pretty much our entire squad and get a new one, I would. Like we need new goalkeeper, new fullbacks, new centre back. This is all first team people. 2 midfielders, a striker, 2 wingers. That's pretty much a new team. Never mind squad players. I even mentioned squad players. So for me, pretty much a whole new team, a whole new squad. What you saying, yeah, in regards to this? Is there anywhere you look at outside? Obviously, you mentioned a backup to Rodri. But is there anywhere else you look, say, in the midfield, attacking areas, defense, or do you go, nah, this squad is?
I think it's weird because our defense is stacked, but not stacked at the same time. It felt like we had loads, and then now it feels like an injury to Diaz, and it's a bit. Because the problem we had last season at the start of the season is we were changing the back four every game. But yeah, we have what? So we have Vardio, Rico Lewis, Kyle Walker, Sergio Gomez, who I don't think wants to be a left back.
Did you just call him Sergio Gomez?
That's his name.
Sir, that's his name. What's his first name?
Sergio.
Like Sergio. Oh, right. I thought you said sir. I was about to say, when was he a sir? What did I miss?
Sergio. And then we have like Aki, Akanji, Diaz, Stones, which sounds like a lot of players. But when a few of them are injured, I don't know. Like I don't think we'll buy a defender. Our defense at the moment is not great. I think that's been our main problem this season. Combined with, I always say this: if the attack score and we lose 2-1 or something like that, then you have to start looking at the defense. Because if the attack have done, obviously it depends how it is. If they have 20 shots on target and we lose 2-1, then the defense have done their job most of the time. Do you know what I mean? But in City's case, it's not normally like that. If we lose 2-1, they've had 2 shots on target, scored 2 goals. So I would ask why the defense haven't done their job. Do you know what I mean? In that situation. So I think this season it's been a bit interesting because we've been conceding stupid goals. Like even that penalty, I don't think that was really Foden's fault. To be honest, like he didn't mean to do it. It's not like he took him out.
Yeah, what intention? It's him just not being aware of his surroundings.
It's a bit unlucky that for Foden, but at the same time, that game should have never been in that position to come to that. And it's the first goal that we conceded, which was the problem because there was no threat. There was nothing going on.
Yeah.
And then we concede that goal. And then all of a sudden we're struggling then and we're panicking. And then Foden makes that challenge. Obviously, every penalty challenge is a stupid challenge, but it wasn't like he meant to do it and he went in and took him out.
Yeah, it's just a lack of his surroundings. It's lack of self-awareness of what's around him.
And that's then led to a draw, which is ridiculous based on that game. So in that sort of game, not only were the attack wrong for not putting away their chances, but the defense need to do better in them sort of games. And I think our attack will normally help our defense if they're struggling, but the defense don't really help our attack if they're struggling. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't really, because if we're having a game where we're a bit off at the back, usually the attack can score 2 or 3 goals. But them games where, we're struggling to score, the defense just kind of make it worse. It's a weird situation. So yeah.
That's right. And yeah, Eli, we got you, man. No stress. We know we know you're at work and that, so it's all good, man. You was typing fast. The pauses just made me laugh. I'm not gonna lie. You typing pause. But big up to Nero, the young G in the cut as well. Says big up the panel and big up the chat. Do you think though that your defense has been struggling also because your midfield hasn't been settled and been the same?
Yeah. Rodri's been doing about 3 people's job. Because I think when Rodri was playing with like Gundogan or even De Bruyne, like De Bruyne is an attacking player for sure. But De Bruyne will get back. He will get the ball back in the midfield. So he will win the ball in the midfield so it doesn't come to that problem where they're attacking us. Whereas Bernardo Silva's great. Bernardo Silva can do it from time to time, but his first thought is always to attack, especially Foden and Alvarez. Foden and Alvarez, they can
Yeah,
drop
yeah,
back,
ahead of the ball.
but
They're
they're
ahead of the
all
ball.
about
Yeah.
going forward, scoring. They're not thinking about, and it's not that they can't do it. And this is why people like Grealish, because Grealish, even though he's not as attacking as them two and he doesn't score as much as them two, he will get back and tackle. Like sometimes you see him making tackles in, our box and stuff like that. So I think that's what he brings to the squad. That's why Pep likes him so much. But I just think with De Bruyne on the pitch, even though he's not a defensive-minded player, we don't need to defend as much when he's on the pitch, if that makes in the first place. And then Rodri does less, and it just makes it a little bit easier. So I expect us to get better. I also think Diaz and Stones together, they're a very good partnership. And I've said this countless times. For me, centre-back is all about the partnership. You can have a world-class centre-back. If you put him next to someone that he just doesn't gel with, you're not getting that same centre-back that you're getting. So I think, hopefully, when Stones is back, I mean, Stones has been playing midfield and all sorts. But maybe when he comes back and he plays along with Diaz will get better. But yeah, his form's just not been good. But then when you play like 50 games a season, you're gonna have
dips. Yeah.
You're gonna have dips. He'll be fine, I'm sure.
Is that what you contribute to Diaz's form? Because you just said just before in regards to someone said Diaz has been in team of the season.
Yeah.
And you're like, there's no way. Is that what it is? You reckon because of the structure and no Stones?
I don't think this season he's been at his best. But that doesn't mean he's been absolutely shocking. I think City have been okay. I think our results are worse than our performances. If you look at the results and you see that, you think, City have been... I actually think we've played really well in some of them games. Like, Liverpool was almost a perfect game. I thought we played quite well in that game. Obviously, Haaland missed a sitter and stuff like that. But we did play well. Against Spurs, we played all right. I think the second half, not so much. Palace, that first half was brilliant, what you'd want. The second half, not so good. So, yeah, on paper, I think it looks worse than what it is. That's why I wasn't worried about City when we weren't getting the results we needed. Because I thought, we're still not that far off the top, and we're not playing that badly. So, yeah, we'll see. I don't feel that bad.
Must be nice. You know what I'm saying? Daniel here saying, I say good to see City fans in the chat. Where you lot at? Don't just pull up for the City show. But big up to City fans in the chat. Make sure you lot pull up for the fan calling show as well. Mondays, 4:30 p.m. UK time. I love to hear from more City fans. Diaz has been poor, needs to get back into form. Yeah, I think that's pretty much an agreement because his form has fallen off. Even when I've watched him,
he's not Diaz that. And the thing is, it's crazy because when you criticize a City player, you always get people that are like, oh, how can you say that? And it's like, our standards for our team are higher than other players. Like, I'm not going to look at a player at Man City and be like, oh, it's fine if he's rubbish for free. No, it's not. Like, the standard is high. Like, Pep will have the same standard, you know? And the players have the same standard for themselves. You think you went to Diaz now and said if he had a good season, he's going to say, yeah, he's going to say, I'm not.
I say, no, he understands.
Yeah, he knows.
Yeah, that's what it is. And you already answered this, but Ed has joined late. Big up to you, Ed. He says, given how he's looked at Chelsea, would you have liked Palmer to stick around? Because it did come out stating that Palmer wanted to go out alone, but then Pep had said to him, either you stay or you make a move. So then obviously he's ended up making a move.
I mean, City don't really like loans. If you notice, we haven't got a lot of loan deals at all going on. They prefer to just get rid or keep. Unless it's like the club saying you need a bit more experience. The problem with players like Cole Palmer is they've got a taste of the Premier League and they've got that hunger to play every week. And the problem at City is he's not going to play every week. So if you have that opportunity to go and play elsewhere, then go for it. Do you know what I mean? I think City feel the same way. If you're going to go and play every week, go play every week. And to be fair, Cole Palmer's needed at Chelsea right now. So he's not only come in, like at City, he'd be a backup player that plays occasionally, you know, when Bernardo Silva comes off on the 87th minute or whatever, maybe start a few games in the cup. Whereas for Chelsea, he's part of their squad and he's part of everything, you know. So it's a good move for Cole Palmer, I think.
Ah, you just look,
I
man, and
don't
you lot talking about Palmer would only get, you know what I'm
know
saying?
what.
He'd only get here, nigga, damn minutes at City. That's what she's saying. But at
But
Chelsea, he's the main man.
he
See how
isn't
she be
good
dissing you lot,
enough
but carry
to
on.
start ahead of the players that we have. He
Mhm.
isn't. Like, look at Sterling. Sterling used to start for us.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. But at the same time, he said he wanted to play every week because at City, even Sterling, because Sterling did a lot for Man City over the years,
He did.
even he can't guarantee every week he's going to start. It's Man City, you know? So, yeah, it's one of them. We'll see. But it's just, I think he's a good signing for Chelsea. And I think it's a good move for him. So I think it's worked out well for both parties. And I think City aren't going to miss him too much.
First. And Will says, Flawless, I can take a loan to City for a couple of weeks and call if you need. Nah, you stay at Chelsea, my friend. You know what I'm saying? Well, you stay at Chelsea. You just concentrate on clubs because we got the playoffs coming up. I think it's the end of this month. So we need you prepared and prepped. And that's for all the pro clubs players in the chat. We got playoffs coming up very, very soon. And I will be running trials. Probably won't do them this week, people, because people always ask in regards to. Make sure you subscribe to the gaming channel, Sarcasm City TV Gaming. I'll be running trials next week. But you lot continue to run up the likes, people. There's over 40 people in here. I even think we're at 40 likes. Let me double check this. No, we're not even at 40 likes. We're at 37. We're too short. Yeah, let's run up the likes and subscribe as well. Roll to 10K. We're at 9,299. One more subscriber. Get us 9,300. Let's get us up to 10K so we can do this 10K party on here and we'll get to it. And I'll probably end up, I don't know, going out or something for the 10K thing. I have to. Jason says, Yan talks so much sense and speaks so well. Love the show as always, guys. Hey, big up to Jason. Big up to Jason. One of my favorite what's it called? Favorite people in the chat. Hey, your super chats. I'm back again when you cook to Sam. I will always remember you and hail you up for that. Had me hilarious. I mean, had me rolling because they was hilarious. Yeah, of course, Victor, you too. You know what I'm saying? All the pro clubs players. We got the playoffs coming up soon, so everyone got to get into playoff mode soon. Yeah, you see how he's trading and he's just leaving. Look, even Victor leaving. I'm going on long term. Anyway, you going where Eric Dyer is? You going with Dyer and Kane? Do your thing. Go do your thing. That's all I'd say. Let's see what else you are saying as well. Continue to run, get your questions in, people. Like I said, just keep it Manchester United or Manchester City related. But Newcastle, confident going into that game? Not confident.
I mean, no, it's not. I think Newcastle away is one of them games where it's not. It's never easy. Even if you win there, it's never easy. Over the past couple of years, we've had some crazy results there. Remember, we had that 4-3, and then we had a 3.
It is one of them places where because of the atmosphere, because of the atmosphere, and the place will be rocking. If you don't perform well there, you can get turned over. It's one of them places you kind of get turned over. Yeah.
I think if we go there and we play well, then we should win because I don't think Newcastle are better than City. But simply because we're away and where we're playing, I would never go there and be like, we've won. But do I think City should be winning that game? Yes, 100%.
Yeah,
but then he should have been beating Palace easily at home. So, yeah, it's one of them. It depends which City turn up. But, yeah, we should be winning that game.
We'll get your score prediction at the end of the show. Ryan says if we win the league, Liverpool fan for those that don't know.
You're unbearable regardless, love.
Exactly. This guy said that. Like, what's the difference? If this is bearable, you, what is unbearable, you? Because one thing, two things like in the content creator space are like true. One, everyone comes together and joins in unison and dances on Arsenal's grave when they get a bad result. Secondly, everyone sees you as an absolute unbearable prick. That's how everyone views you. No matter if you Liverpool fans, City fans, Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs, everybody, Newcastle. I was saying, Kendall was right, man. When Kendall tweeted, that's the realest shit. That's the realest tweet of 2023. When she said, if I knocked on your head, it would echo. Realest shit she ever said.
Did she say
I was saying, yeah, that's what she tweeted.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what she tweeted.
That's so rude. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what she tweeted. She said if I knocked on your head, it would echo. I need to go find that tweet again.
Oh, no.
Yeah, this guy just always
like 3 months, so I didn't see it.
Yeah. Just search her name and it'll pop up. I'll find it. I'll send it through to you. Everyone was just rolling at it, and it's just like it's facts. It's the realest tweet she ever wrote, and she it's default. Yeah, that's the tweet of 2023 without doubt, man. Without doubt, it's the tweet of 2023. Eddie says Vladimir Flula is gonna have you in the gulag if you don't perform. They know what time it is, man. Playoff time. We gotta lock in. We got to lock in playoff time, man. Serious business. To our waist, who says flawless. Are you a City? That's a City. That's a City. City Avi, isn't it? Flawless, scared of the City 4P. We're screwed either way. Whether City 4P, Liverpool matches for like league titles.
That's what my dad was saying. At the start of the season, he was saying if City don't win it, normally we prefer another team to win it than Liverpool, but actually, if we don't win it, it's going to be worse for United if Liverpool win it. So it's one of them.
Arsenal is all bad. That's why I said it. Don't so scared. No, just understand. Like Gary Neville was right when he said it's like
the lose-lose situation. Unless
lose,
even if Arsenal win it, it's a lose-lose. Yeah, it's a lose-lose situation.
Gary Neville
said
it.
Arsenal's probably the best bet for you out of the three, which is crazy.
Like, it's like picking someone to take your wife off you. Like that's what it is. It's like picking the guy who's going to take your wife. Like that's just legit what it is. It don't matter. It's all bad. There's no right answer. So yes, scared. No, just at complete sheer disappointment and just acceptance that it's going to be whoever wins the league. So I'm just going to enjoy cooking the two that don't.
I think, to be honest, I think on this sort of space, City fans are the least unbearable. So if we did, City fans, like, we will say we forfeited, but yeah, they're not going to be pecking your head every second, especially maybe outside, like in Manchester. Like if you're wearing a United shirt, you might get a bit of shit. But yeah, on here, I don't think City fans are, like we won a treble and most people were pretty chilled. Do you know what I mean? So it's
that's it. One of them. Like it's like, Eddie said it here. It's like, do you want to punch me or kick me in the face? It's like it's like, oh, you either get hit with the brass knuckles, a baseball bat, or a hammer. Like it's the same thing, innit? You're still getting hit like with a weapon. It's just a question of which is still all bad. There's no correct choice. There is no correct choice. But hey, we move. I can't believe it, man. United, man. What are you doing? Hey, this shit ain't thin ice, I told you this before. Thin ice. Like, what's wrong with you? I don't like your happiness and your sheer joy. Say this shit ain't funny. You know what I'm saying? It's really not. And to Will, because somebody said earlier about Jan talking sense. Nah, I agree. I think she does too. That's why she's here. Like, if you didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, see what says Flawless doesn't agree with Jan talking sense. Nah, she talks sense. You know what I'm saying? She's one of the bearable, like, just people in this space. Oasis Flawless, would you prefer Arsenal over City? We're just having this.
That's the best option, though. Really,
I have no preference. There's no
again. United point of view, it's the best option,
I have no preference. I lose. It's all bad.
Yeah.
It's all hell.
Yeah.
It's just different parts of hell, but it's hell. They're the same.
I know how you feel because it's like when the Champions League final was Spurs versus Liverpool. I didn't want either team to win it. It was bad both ways because Liverpool winning it, kind of like overshines winning the league a little bit because it's bigger than the league in everyone's eyes. So it's one of them things. Secondly, I didn't want Spurs to win it because if Spurs won it before us, we'd never hear the end of it. So it was one of them where I didn't want either to win, but Liverpool were the better option. So it was kind of like you had to kind of want Liverpool to win it, which is crazy. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
And to Dank Boys, big fire name, by the way. He says, y'all talked about the Sancho situation. Yeah, we did, but I know you just arrived late. So yeah, just give my thoughts on it quickly again in regards to happy for him about the move. Needed to get the loan move. I think it's best for all parties involved. It's best for him. It's best for Manchester United. I think he'll go there and excel. He's been there before, so he doesn't have to worry about settling in at Dortmund. Doesn't have to worry about settling in to the Bundesliga. They're also in the Champions League as well. That's what I'm going to be interested to see. I need to actually check Dortmund's fixtures and see what day they're playing in the Champions League. I know they're playing PSV, because I'm not going to do any Bundesliga watches, but I'm definitely going to have a keen eye on him in the Champions League. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Sancho, and I said it even as a United fan. The criticism he received from the media, of some of the media over here and some of our fan base over here, was well over the top. And people talking about things they don't know about. I keep saying this, and I continue to say this. And people are like, oh, he's a bad trainer. How do you know?
Yeah.
Nonsense. Like, training's never been, it's not filmed, it's not put out. We have no idea if Sancho's a bad trainer. Oh, he has a bad attitude. Never interacted with him. You have no idea if he has a bad attitude. Just because you disagree with one decision he made, all of a sudden he has a bad attitude. No, you can just disagree. I was like, what we do, I can't just judge man off that. Now you can criticize his performances and the shit. Cool. I was critical. Me and Eddie, I say it all the time, did the player ratings at the back end of last season. It's on the last playlist of Manchester United summer window. And we did player ratings and we both gave him low ratings. Both said he should have been moved on in the summer. But yeah, glad he got his move and I expect him to thrive there. And happy for him, genuinely. As he's too talented not to be playing football. No way he should be sat out. That's what I would say. No way he should be sat out. Well, hey, we move. What else we got? See, yeah, this is what I'm talking about, damn boys. My little bro was saying he's lazy and should apologize. The apologize, I get, because that's preference. Personally, I want to apologize. Like, I would have done the exact same thing. I'm not apologizing. You criticize me publicly, it's a wrap. In regards to him being lazy, there's no evidence to suggest that. There's no evidence to suggest that. But hey, we move. Flawless, would you prefer Villa to win it? I have no issue with Villa. Villa winning would be hilarious. Just because of the chaos. I'm all for chaos purposes. Like Villa winning it in like this era, it'd be hilarious.
I'll take Villa.
Yeah, Villa would be hilarious. Just because it'd just be something different to talk about. That's what I would say.
You know what though? I do think, because this happens every season as well. This is another thing that happens. There's always a team in the mix at this stage. There's always a team. And that team, I think we've seen, was it Brighton a few years ago, who were like in the mix till quite late on?
There's always one.
There's always one. And I'm not saying that Villa are not good, because they have been brilliant. And Emery, I think, is an underrated manager. We spoke about this before. But at the same time, are they going to stand it till the end? I'm not so sure, I don't know. I don't think. Well, if they're still in the same situation in March, then we can maybe have this conversation. But I think now it's a little bit too early, because I'm sure last season Newcastle were quite high up for a bit.
Yeah, there's always one in and around it.
Could win it, and it's always the case. I think it's a little bit early yet. I'm not looking at the title race yet. I think we just need to get points on the board, stay in touch with Liverpool, and then when we go on the final run-in, if we're still in touch or we're ahead, then we can talk about winning the league. But yeah, it's just one of them.
Right, and just ask the question again. I missed it. Ask the question again, and I'll get to it. Don't worry about it, fam. I've got it. And yeah, it's crazy. Our fan base hates Sancho, but I say it's people with just narratives and stuff rather than actually look at forget Sancho. How about the players playing? That's who my focus is on. My focus is not Sancho, because some of the same fans who will criticize Sancho will tell you he's no good and makes no difference anyway. So why are you fussed? If a player you don't rate is not playing, why are you fussed? That's like me, like McTominay being out, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe McTominay's not playing. Or one flip, I'll flip that and go one further. Mount, you never hear me complain about Mount not playing. I didn't want him in the first place.
I forgot he was a United player till the other day.
That's what it is. He forgets that he's even here. You lot will never, the entire time he's been injured here, which is the vast majority, never once have I ever said, you know what? Bring Mount back. I couldn't care less, because I don't think you make a difference. So if Sancho's that bad of a player and you don't think he makes a difference, why do you want him to apologize? Why do you want him in the squad? Now, if you rate him and that I hear that. If you rate him and think he can make a difference, I understand that. But that makes no sense. If people are like, he's terrible. He's got a bad attitude. He's toxic. So if he's a bad trainer and he's toxic and he's a bad example, why would you want him in the squad? Why would you want him in the first team? If you like agendas. Makes no sense whatsoever. But hey, people are gonna run agendas. Jess says Giannis is Sterling a City legend. I've seen a lot of online City fans don't believe so. That's a good question.
I think City fans are kind of torn on Sterling a little bit. I think personally he did a lot for Man City. Legend is one of them things. Some people have a lot of legends, and other people it's only very small criteria. So it depends. Like, my criteria for legend is not, I won't group the whole of City's team every time we've won something into the legend category. A lot goes into it. But Sterling has done a hell of a lot for us. So I think he's a little bit underrated by City fans. But legend for me is I don't put just everyone in there. So
yeah, you have your a certain
depends.
criteria.
Yeah, for me, I think legend. He'll be some people's legend for sure.
Mm.
Other people, not so much. But there's like I love Rodri. Rodri's my favorite player, and I think he's getting into the legendary status. But that is because he's doing things like winning us the Champions League and being consistent for so long. So there's things that go into being a legend, but I still wouldn't say now even Rodri's there yet. So and that is my favorite player. So legend for me is it takes a long time to get in there. But yeah, if someone said he's a City legend, I'm not going to argue you down on it. Put it that way.
Like you said, everybody's what's it called is different.
Yeah,
Everybody's
threshold is different. Yeah,
everybody's criteria is different. That's like world class. Everybody, so there's not really any right or wrong answer in terms of legend.
Yeah,
in regards to some people be like, oh, you must have won us multiple major trophies to be considered a legend.
But the other thing is as well, for me, it's kind of when they leave that they become a legend for me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear that.
You could say
they're
a legend player right now, but I think they kind of have to have left to become a legend because you don't know how their career is going to end. Their career could end by them joining Man United, and then they'd be a City legend, but you know what I mean? It
can be tainted. It can be tainted like bad form. If they fall off,
or if
they
they're
can
a raging paedophile or something. You know what I mean? Like that sort of thing. It goes out of there. So for me, when they leave, like for now, I would say Aguero, Vincent Kompany. You know, it's the same with Zabaleta. Some people argue Zabaleta's a legend to them, and others will say he was just a player.
I'd say cult hero. Yeah, cult hero.
So yeah, and I would say the same for him. But it just depends on your threshold because some people they have a lot of players in there, and others only have a few. So it's just one of them things.
Yeah, actually, let me actually check. Like, what is the actual when they say define legend? Like, what actually that actually means?
I thought it was when they left. But maybe
let me see this. Define legend. Well, it says. Well, it's
because they only really build legendary statues once they've left. They don't.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
There, so that's why. I mean, for me, there's a lot of City players who are going to be legends at the end of their City career for sure. De Bruyne already there. Rodri, like I said. There's a few others that people are like on the cusp. So like Fernandinho. Some people would say he's a legend. Some people would say he's not quite there. So it honestly just depends on the people that are selecting. And then the club as well. The club have their legends that they class as legends. So it's an interesting one.
It varies. It does. And then again, once you start having success, which you lot have had now for multiple years, it makes it tougher. It in some people's eyes, it makes that criteria and the barrier to get in is now higher. The criteria is now higher because it's not just one or two.
Yeah. Because Aguero winning the league for us was legendary because he was the first one. But it's like someone winning the league for us now is not necessarily a legend because we've won the league every year. So, you know, it's like if Alvarez goes and scores a last-minute winner in the dying seconds, it's not the same as Aguero.
Yeah. It's not the same. That's what it is.
So, Rodri scoring that Champions League is the same as Aguero. It's you know, okay, he's not done it in the dying seconds against our rivals, but he's won a Champions League final for us. Yeah. So
it's like because it's like if you look at say a Newcastle, for instance, like Alan Shearer is classed as a legend at Newcastle.
Yeah.
Because of what he did, or say like I don't know, Matt Letizia at Southampton. I'm just taking it back. So yeah, it varies in regards to like you said what they've won. Eli says, how long does a player have to play for a club for them to be considered a legend? It's a good question.
It depends because I think if Aguero would come, scored that goal, I said this the other day, if Aguero would come and scored that goal and left the year later, he still would be a legend in the history books of Man City. But then maybe not as a player of the club.
Yeah, maybe what it is.
Know, like
maybe what it is though.
I don't know how it works.
Legendary moment. Yeah, like you said. That's what I think there's a difference between legend and legendary moment.
It's a hard one. You kind of have to have the longevity and the talent, and it also has to be consistent. Having one good season and then falling off a cliff is not gonna. It's weird. And then you've got other things like people are legends for different reasons as well within the club. So yeah, it's just one of them. I mean, City, we have had 2 great periods of success where there was a team who were winning consistently, and that was obviously your 50s, 60s team, and then now. So obviously they've all got their statue now. Summerby, you know. It's a shame because they kind of waited till Colin Bell died and Francis Lee. They both died before it was done, but they have their statue now. It's only Summerby that's alive to see it. But there are other players in that team who are legends, but they haven't got a statue. So it's one of them things. You always get them players who are going to be mentioned alongside them, but they're not necessarily going to have a statue. And it'll be the same with the City team, you know. So yeah. I think we'll have to. Ultimately it comes down to who the club considers a legend, because
because the club will say obviously who the fans sing about, like. And talk a bit who the fans sing about. We'll come into it, but it's like you said, legendary moments. Because like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for us, of course, legendary moment. Like in modern day, he has alongside Giggs in the semi-final of the FA Cup. Like that's. But do I class him as a United legend? No. Fan favorite, court hero. Yes, like many others.
That's what it is. And I think a lot of people. This is why there's so much debate over legends. To me, I don't really care if you want to call a City player a legend.
Yeah, that's true.
That's on you. You can because everyone will. Unless it's like a
unanimously, there's some players who are unanimously that people look at and go, yeah, you're a legend. Some people are like that.
And like I say, Rodri for me is my favorite player. So even if Rodri didn't score that goal, I'd be putting him more towards that. But the club might decide, actually, no, we consider Fernandinho more of a legend. So it just depends on the club. So I think going forward, there's going to be more City players coming into that because they're doing different things. And it's like Haaland as well. Haaland hasn't been here that long. He scored 71 goals.
That's crazy.
And he's been out for 2 months, which is, put it this way, Foden has just scored his 70th. And he's been here a lot longer. So it's just one of them things. But if Haaland stays for years and years and years, his goal record alone is going to be legendary. So he might overtake Aguero. Do you know what I mean? So it's things like that will also. He might not win anything new. Obviously, he won he's part of the Champions League team, but he might not actually score a goal to win us anything. But he'd still be down as legendary in the Premier League, never mind just the league. So we'll have to see, excuse me, someone says, it all depends how long they stay. If Haaland goes after 3 years, he's going to be part of that legendary squad. He's not going to be a Man City legend. Do you know what I mean? No. So it's just, a lot of it I think the word legend, a lot of stuff goes into it. It's not as simple as, he's a legend. But if you do want to, I think with Sterling, he's not going to get that because fans have always been a bit. Sterling was very frustrating. He was very frustrating. I cannot lie, he was. I loved Sterling. There was a lot of people that hated Sterling. So he was a bit like Marmite. A lot of people loved him. A lot of people hated him. The fan base never really were all on the same page with Sterling. I think a lot of people were easily influenced by what they heard in the media. And not everyone can use their own mind and step away from that. I think that's part of the problem.
That's fair. And Jez says, to be fair, difference is the size of United in the amount of players you can call a legend ahead of Oli. And that ties into it too. That's what I said, Jez, before you said
the more success we have, the less legends we'll have from it. Yeah, because standards go up as well.
It. And Ryan says, scored over 50 goals in a season to win you a treble. Of course, he's a legend. That's a legendary season, though.
Yeah,
right. I think there's a difference. The same way you could have legendary, the same way you can have legendary moments and a legendary season, you cannot be a legend. Like if Haaland left City this summer gone, he's not. Let's say they just win the Premier League. No, he's not a legend. 2 seasons of just winning, he's not. To me, he wouldn't be any.
Yeah. I'd say too early. Yeah. But like I say, it just depends because you've got players like. He's still going to be one of the best strikers we've seen in the league, regardless, because he is. It's like David Silva, one of the best players. Even if David Silva had left after 3 years, a lot of people would be saying he's the best player. Like a lot of City fans, if you go around the stadium and you ask people who's the best player you've ever seen, most of the answers are going to be David Silva. Some will say Colin Bell.
I've said this about David Silva. I think he is. I think he's the best number 10 we've ever seen in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I've said this. I've got on record and said this. I think he is the best 10.
He is. He was brilliant. And for that, even if he'd stayed 3 years, you'd have City fans saying he's a legend. So it just, whereas he actually is a legend at City because of how long he stayed and everything else. So I don't know. But maybe the club wouldn't recognise him as much if he'd only stayed that short period. So the legend debate is a difficult one because it's all depends on your opinion of what a legend is. You know,
Hey, just people falling for the media Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's what it is. That's the only thing that I can think that it is, because Sterling didn't do anything at City that would make you dislike him, apart from being frustrating. And he's not the only frustrating player. So that's, I don't know.
Yes, it. And Sammy says, Jan, you still coming Trinidad for Carnival? You going over to Trinidad for Carnival?
No, not anymore.
Why? What happened going? This is sarcasm.
No,
you want to tell the story?
You have to plan it like a year in advance. I've not planned it.
Right. The way you said that, I thought it was setting out.
No.
Fairs.
I will go to Trinidad one day. I will come to Trinidad, I should say.
There you go. And Eli says Silva's great, but Bergkamp was better in my opinion. Here's the thing is, Eli, I don't class Bergkamp as a 10. That's the difference. I don't class, like, Bergkamp again is one of the best strikers in the Premier League we've ever seen, but he was more of, because it's tough because he's a second striker, and there's a difference between second strikers and 10s. Because the second striker was the one who played up top in a 4-4-2 and then dropped off, whereas a 10 went into that area of the striker. Like, it's subtle things. Like, I don't think Bergkamp could have done what Silva did to the level he did it at, and I don't think Silva could have done what Bergkamp did to the level he's at. So when I say 10s, that's why I'm very particular. I don't think, I don't class Bergkamp, but even though he had the number 10 on his back and he did number 10 things, he wasn't a traditional number 10. He's dropping off the striker in the 4-4-2 era. Don't get me wrong, he could have played in the 10 in the modern day era. I think he's that good. Same way I think Silva would have been fine as going as a second striker as well. But there's two.
He never used to shoot with Silva. He used to hesitate a lot. So he would he'd be in the position to shoot and then he wouldn't shoot. But when he did, it went in a lot. So I think if he was a second striker, David Silva would have scored a lot more goals. But his job was always to look for Aguero, to look for whoever we had at the time. Do you know what I mean? Up front. So his job, even though his job was to obviously help the team, he didn't see it as I need to score goals. He saw it as I need to look for the striker at the time. So I think that's what he did.
No, I hear that. And Sammy says, how high does Jan rate Doku?
I love Doku, but I liked him before we even got him. I really wanted him. Him and Barrio are the two that I was like, we need these players. I do really like him. I think obviously he's still young. He's still learning. He will get better, I assume, under Pep. Everyone tends to. So I think he will get better. But I think he's great. He comes in, he's sort of everywhere. He's getting stuck in. He's getting chances. I think he will improve next season. I think some of his balls in to the box and stuff will be better. But yeah, I think he's doing really well. I mean, De Bruyne was vouching for him for a while. So I think, he wouldn't have done that if he didn't think he was good enough. So yeah, I think next season we'll see a better Doku, but he has been brilliant so far. I mean, City fans love him. They absolutely love him.
Direct. That's the type there. He's the type. His profile is the type that fans are gonna love.
Yeah,
fans are gonna love because of his profile. When you're electric, direct as he is, like fans love that. You're a quick, direct, electric winger. Fans are gonna give you time because you're excited to watch and you're gonna make things happen. You don't hear it as soon as he gets the ball.
Oh yeah, something's
atmosphere. The volume's gonna go up. Like, all right, something's gonna happen, type of thing. But yeah, big up to everyone that's tapped in. Make sure you continue to run up the likes, whether you're watching this live or watching this back. Make sure, don't forget to listen to us on all audio platforms as well, people. Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, wherever you get your podcasts. Type in Sarcasm City TV. Wherever you listen to music as well, type in Sarcasm City TV. And this show and all the other shows on the channel will pop up. Yan over there with the bougie fan. So if you are listening on audio, get over to the YouTube as well. It's a very nice fan. That. What does it say? I love what?
Rio.
I love that. You know what I'm saying? Love that. So yeah, run up the likes. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. It is road to 10,000 subscribers. We're now gone 9,300. So we are closing, you know what I'm saying? We're closing in on 9.5 people. So we're trying to get there. Trying to get to 9.5 by the end of this month. It's only the 11th of January, people. So we are trying to get there. You will continue to get this show. There is a playlist for this show on the channel as well. So if the Man United, Jadon City, Manchester United, Manchester City show is your favorite podcast on the channel, just go to the playlist. There's all the shows on the channel. There's a playlist for people. So make sure you check it out. We will be back tonight at midnight as well. Midnight UK time for the Manchester United Arsenal show. So you know that's going to be a good one. You know the Man United Gonna Talk from the Arsenal podcast is going to be a good one. But Jan, anything you want to add before we close out the show?
No, I think that's it.
There we go, people. Actually, we ain't letting you get away with it. Score prediction Saturday. Newcastle United versus Manchester City.
The way we are at the moment, I don't think it's going to be more than a 1-0 lead. So I'm going to go with 2-1 City.
2-1 City first?
Okay. Yeah, we don't seem to keep a clean sheet very much. So I think we're definitely going to concede. But I do think, I hope that we're going to edge it at least. So 2-1.
There we go. And people, let me know. Let me actually have a look, see who's live before we close out to redirect to. Let me see who's live. Actually, I see who's live. Yeah, I'll send you lot to, you know what? Send you lot to Lee's channel. Lee reacts because he's doing the Barcelona Osasuna match. So just put Sarcasm City Raid in capital letters, people. But love to everyone that's locked in. You lot enjoyed the show. It's good to see new names in the show. I mean, new names in the comment section. Good to see City fans. You know? Yeah, big up the City fans. For those that say, oh, you a troll and you hating, look, man, I see how I give the platform for all teams. You know what I'm saying?
Even City, really. He used to support City and then he got to there. It's what it is. It's what it is. Yeah.
Sure. She's just out here telling lies on my name. Big up to my Don Sheik as well. Says great show, Yan and Flawless as well. You lot, make sure you subscribe to Sheik TV. Make sure you go subscribe to my Don Sheik's channel because you catch him on here on Watch Alongs. You'll see him on the UFC show as well. And that being said, I'm going to keep plugging this all week as well. AFCON starts Saturday, people.
Yeah.
And we will be doing AFCON Watch Alongs on the Sarcasm City TV Twitch. So Victor, Jez, Prime, Steve, am I forgetting anyone? Yeah, they're the main four who are going to be holding it down in regards to the watch-alongs as well. Look, this Victor guy. You know what I'm saying? This guy, yo, always on my case. But anyways, love to everyone that's locked in. This has been Mandem United, Jadon City, Manchester United, Manchester City show live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Big up for tuning in.